Hi, I'm Kay, and I'm a survivor of somebody that decided to take their life. And it's emotional still. Um, I lost my dad to suicide when I was 11, and that was a major impact. It impacted me for a lot of years. There's a stigmatism and a shame that came with it as I got older. Whenever you go into a doctor, a medical, and they want you to fill out a form and they go, oh, are both parents living? If not, what did they die of? And so then you get angry, and it's like, you don't need to know that. And so you just kind of deal with it, the hurt. I was young and that hurt, and you don't understand it. You think, oh, could have I did something and that type of thing. And it subsided for a while, you still know it, you still think it, you don't really talk about it or anything. And then the kids' dad, we were not married anymore. We had divorced a few years before that. And it's personal, but he was an alcoholic, and he did decide to take his own life, and that was horrendous. And that's when I just like, I don't get it, Lord. Why? I wondered for years, was like, why my dad did that. My dad was also an alcoholic. You never think, I don't care, none of us do, that any of that could happen to me. Do you know what I mean? I even as, like I said, I was 11 years old, and I hadn't seen my dad for a while. He had left and went to another state. And anyways, in my mind, the last when my parents had got a divorce, and they used to steal. I'm from a huge family. I'm child number 8 out of 10, and they would try to steal kids back and forth. It's kind of weird, but just, like I said, I don't have this perfect little life. So I was with my dad, and I have, there's 5 girls, 2 boys, girl, 2 more boys. So I was kind of in with the boys, right? And my dad had a couple of the boys and me. And last time I saw him, and he just said, well, I said, I might leave you with your mom for a little while. And he was going over to steal another brother back. And it sounds weird, but it's just the way it was. And he goes, so I might have to leave you there, but just remember that I love you, and I'm always I will come and get you. I'm like, okay. And so, and I dwelt on that for a long time. I was like, wow, why, And then it dawned on me that, oh, duh, I was a kid, a girl. Probably all those years ago, and even still now, it's hard for dads to deal with a young girl because she's going to go into puberty. My dad had the boys, and boom, geez, he had Kay. Here's this little kid that, I thought I was a tomboy to the max because I was in between my brothers. So that was, then the next thing I heard from my dad, was my mom came in and told us, and that was horrendous. It just, and you just like, he said he would always come and get me. He's not going to get, you know what I mean? And so, and those are kid thoughts, but it does something in your heart, and then when somebody says, this is your stepdad, where's your real dad? You know what I mean? Those were always questions that I dreaded. I didn't have an answer. I didn't want to answer. I don't want to say, it was just, like I said, filling out a medical form. And I don't know why that sticks in my mind, but it was like, what do I put down on this? I didn't know what to do. And you have the dreams and stuff like that, and then just live with it. But you don't just have to live with it. There is a healing, there is a peace, there is a truth And that's where, then after with the kids' dad, I was like, I can't even believe this is happening. When I lost my dad that way, it was I totally didn't understand it. I'm a child, and I'm still waiting for my dad to come back and get me, and then it's like, your dad's never going to come back and get you, and you don't understand it. I'm really pretty close with a brother and a sister, and at that time, like our whole family was all different places. The brothers and sisters, not together, and there was just us ones that were together, and so we wept together, we cried together, and we didn't know what else to do, and then that, you know what I mean? You don't know anything else, and so after being older, I really did. I said, Lord, I don't understand this. I do not understand this, and I had to be strong for my kids, and be able to go, you know what, we don't know the reason why, but I know it has nothing to do with the fact he loved you with all that he was, my kids, I don't know if I've never said, are you all the way over that? You know what I mean? I've never said that to them. If, I don't know, we're pretty open. So if there is something, we can talk about it, and at the time, my youngest son was with me and my daughter. My oldest son was not. He wasn't there. So we cried together, and we prayed together, and just, left it where it was at, and just called out and said, Lord, I need you. I need to understand this. I need to, I want my children to be healed. I don't want them to suffer shame or any of that goes with it for like all the years that I did. It's like, that's not from God. Is that was all in my own mind, and I made it up. Maybe some of it was, but not all of it, and you feel like, I don't know why this shame thing. I have no idea. That part, I don't know, but I know you're not supposed to, because they loved you, they still loved you, and you loved them. You know what? It was just that one moment, just one little moment where if, you could have changed it, you would. You know what? But it is the way it is. And I know where they are, and I'm not going to let anything more be stolen from me or robbed that the enemy did. It's like, no, my son, my youngest son, I lost him about 6 years ago, and he didn't take his life, but he was in an accident. And I didn't think I would make it, only because I didn't want to take my life, but I had no reason to live. I just said, I don't have any reason, Lord. The kids' dad had already taken his own life, so he wasn't there to put his arms around me, or, there's something, I don't know if it's a mother's heart in it, dad's heart, but I couldn't get any comfort. I had friends and family, and it was like, Lord, I just don't want to live anymore. I never thought of taking my life, but it was just like, I'm done, Lord. And I was laying and all I wanted was that, as a dad, that your wife comes to you, whether you can really make anything right or not. You probably can't in most of it, but it's the idea that you say to her, it'll be okay, honey. I love you. And I didn't have that. And I was laying in my bed, just laying there. And at the time, I had I had remarried and been married for like 20 some odd years, and my second husband and I would decide. Well, we decided, it was like, okay, again, and I hate to say so much, but I had he again was a drinker, an alcoholic, and I just went like, I can't do this alcohol stuff anymore. So that was the case, and he just was not there for me at all. And he had moved out of the house, asked him to move out of the house when this happened. We had just decided to do this, and that's when my youngest one went to heaven. And so I'm laying in my bed. I wasn't asleep. It was already after his memorial, and I couldn't get any relief. I was like, I can't. And I'm laying in my bed, not asleep. And I thought it was my husband, because he still had a key and all that. Somebody came up. I say somebody because I thought it was him, and wrapped their arm around me. There was nothing sexual about it at all. It was in great love. And all of a sudden, that love of like, I know you're hurt, and I'm going to comfort you. And I thought it was him. And I just laid there for a minute and just soaked in the love. And then I turned over to say thank you. Thank you that I needed that. And there was no one there. And that's what God will do for us. And I'm saying it with my son, but he did it in different ways. Every time you suffer a huge, it's like something it's nothing you can do. And I didn't want to take my life, but I had no reason to live. I just said, Lord, I don't understand it. And if God in heaven can do that, he hugged me. He put his arms around me, and that's what it took. Let go of all of the weird little things that are, I don't know, religion, I guess you can say, or what, and you can't blame everything on the churches, but a lot of it's not God, it's just man-made religion. So let him comfort you, give you all that you need, and bring you back where you're supposed to be.